Good morning, everyone. I hope I am audible and visible well enough. So, can anyone please drop into the chat and confirm that everything is going fine? Anyone, please? I'm yet to see anything. Okay, great. Thank you, Nitin. Uh, Good morning, Shri J. Good morning, Sanjay. Great. So, although we have a little less number of audience today, maybe because we have a break earlier and then there is a Diwali festival is coming around. So let's just wait for a few more folks to join in. Meanwhile, if anyone of you has any questions which you wanted to discuss, please put down all those questions under the chat and I will try to answer all those questions for you. So please go ahead. Anyone has any questions? So anyone, Anoj, Shri J, Nitin, Madhun, any one of you. And even if you don't have a question, let's just tell us about how you are enjoying this session so far. So, are you joining it first time or you are following this entire series where we are almost, I think, in the seventh session now for today. So, how is your feedback so far? Damodaram is asking when is the next batch for data engineer. So next batch for the data engineer is from 5th of November and timing would be same. So just now, like timing would be the same. That is nothing but your 8 a.m. IST. So that will be the timing. You will get it when you will join a data engineering batch. So that is starting from 5th November, 8 a.m. IST. That will be the regular time. Amazing facts. It is fantastic. Good vibes. Thank you so much. Saurabh, in which scenario, Saurabh has some question. In which scenario we can go with the Azure function? So Azure function, you go ahead with the cases where uh, you you think about it's a dynamic thing. I mean, you don't know how many times this will going to be called. Okay, and so if you have a kind of a more dynamic kind of a requirement, probably that could be the situation where you go with the your Azure function. So it is like a scalable thing. You have some piece of code and you feel that this could be keep on you to just give some input and it will give you some output. Okay, and if this kind of a situation is there, where probably Azure function could be benefiting you. So it's like a small piece of work get done. So if that is kind of a work you have, Azure function could be a handy here. Abhishek is asking what is the fees for this course. Abhishek, there is a URL under this description of this video as well. Go down to that URL and you find everything. Shri J, I have 14 years of experience in the storage domain, but when coming to the data engineer, does will it affect the current CTC when we jump from a one domain to another? Ideally, it shouldn't be because data engineering so far is one of the highest paying job in the IT industry. So I assume whatever be at your current role, probably you may be near to the data engineer or will be below to the data engineer package. So I think it will be completely fine. You will always get a plus on what you are currently deriving from the your company. So don't worry about from the compensation part. I feel. Nitin is asking, I have done intern in the BA. If I will join Azure Ds, so what way it will benefit me? I doubtful. You need to know basic of SQL. You need to know little bit of programming. Even if you don't know, I will give a Python course free. But you need to have a programming. I mean, computer knowledge. Okay. So if you feel that this is not something which excite you and you're not passionate about it, probably you can skip it and maybe try something else. I mean, I'm just saying because this you said you are from BA. intern in BA. So I assume intern in BA, maybe Bachelor of Arts or something. Okay. Rohit, Deepak, do you think DP 900 is worth certification? I feel it's good if you are starting at the very beginner level, but if you think that you are already at a mid level in your job, like a 5 7 years of experience, certification doing DP 900 won't be that worth, to be honest. It won't take you anywhere, but it just give you a good start. So even if you just read about all the content and whatever is required for DP 900, that give you a good knowledge. Certification won't matter too much, to be honest, because this is a very basic certification. So until unless you are a very junior guy, or if you are like a fresher, then it could make sense. Otherwise, for a senior folks, this is fine. I'm following from Praveen. I'm following from the first session. It is really interesting. Thank you so much, Praveen. Pleasure to have you here. And trust me, you should have to applaud yourself, because it's tough to make the continuity and join every session. I have taken so many podcasts, I have taken so many boot camps and then classes. I know that we start with, let's say, 500 people, then slowly people get down, and then to the way we reach to the last sessions, we left with only 10% of it. So, and those 10% is actually the one who got benefited out of all this, and they will reach to somewhere. So I mean, so that's an important factor. Ravi Teja, can we have a more discussion on function apps and integration to CRM on any other third party integration? Ravi Teja, this is not a part of. We are Our goal is not that. You might be asking for your project specific thing, but here the focus would be on the Azure fundamental certification or the Azure fundamental understanding. So we try to touch base upon the variety of the services, which and more towards the syllabus of AZ 900. Okay. Chandrasekhar is asking, do we need to know store position, function, and triggers? Good to know. But probably, I mean, store position you should know. Function, triggers, it's not that tough, guys. Basic is fine. So we almost got a 65 folks. In next 2 minutes, we'll start with our the main course. So meanwhile, let's take a few more quickly questions. Uh, Dwarkanath is asking, is there any fast track? I don't know for what do you mean by fast track. Uh, then Jayant is asking, hi Deepak, I have gone through your video sessions on the Microsoft Azure tutorial. It's very helpful. You have explained very clean and crispy. Thank you so much, Jayant. If it is helping you out, thanks. Share a good word, please, guys. Sometimes you guys are very selfish. You don't. I mean, you're enjoying it. At least put a one like button and one share button. It doesn't cost you anything. Go ahead, do it. Let this knowledge reach to everyone. There might be other folks who got benefited out of it. So do that. I mean, do right away. Go and like it, and whatever other videos which you find, watch earlier, go back and like all those as well. You can always do that. I mean, honestly, we put a lot of efforts when we come out with the content and do all this. So please appreciate us by doing at least doing that one thumbs up. uh, Attar is asking, hi Deepak, due to some emergency work, I missed last 3 sessions, attended firstly, which I enjoyed a lot. Thanks to you. So will I be able to understand today's session? Yes, it will be completely uh, unrelated to what we learned in the previous sessions. See, Azure 900 certification, AZ 900, basically, is more of uh, a high level understanding of all the services. So every day you can think about that we're talking about a different services. So it's completely fine that if you miss a previous session and you're watching this, you will still get to understand almost everything. So that's fine. Fabian, uh, I have always followed from Nigeria with my phone, but this is the first time I'm joining with the laptop. You are doing a great job. Thank you so much, Fabian. Thank you so much. I know you are in a different time zone. Maybe the timing is also tough for you, but still you are taking your time out and joining us. Thank you so much. Heads off to you. Rohit, thanks Deepak for this. Uh, okay, sorry. With the help of your session, I'm able to clear the Easy 900 certification. Yes, almost I covered entire syllabus of the Easy 900. Maybe you read out little more documents or maybe question specific, little bit practice questions, I would say, and you will be able to clear that. Yasin, I'm purely network person with no knowledge of program. Can I do ADE? I don't know whether you worked for any IT project or not. If you have not worked for any IT project, probably you can skip it. Start with the software testing or something like that. But if you have worked for any of the project, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, whatever, it's fine. Then you can think of doing it. Okay. Shriji, when we complete data engineering training, just looking out how many experience we could adopt based on the completion of the training. I understand it all depends upon the study. Yes, so you can, I mean, you can put down a 1 year, 2 year, whatever is you like. You can put down that much amount of experience. Okay, great. So I know a lot of questions still. I can see that, but I'm sorry I cannot answer right now. But we will take all those questions towards the end, so don't worry about it. I'll try to answer each and every question, but this is time now to go back and start learning something good. Okay, so let me take out our things. Give me a second, guys. Okay. Oh, so I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully, once you're able to see my screen, please do let me know that you are able to share my entire screen. Great. So, I assume I am visible well enough. Let me just go down here and change the format. Great. Back here. So far, we talked about a couple of other services. Now, for example, we talked about the compute service. In the compute service, what we talked about the Azure virtual machines. Okay, we talked about the storage services. Okay, in which I talked about the ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage, or our blob storage, right? We also talked about the networking service, which was nothing but your Azure virtual networks, and then VPN. I think I haven't touched about the VPN. I'll talk about the VPN today. And then there are few, you can call it as storage, kind of a storage service itself, or you want to call it as a database service, up to you. So now today we talk about few database services which is provided by the Microsoft Azure. Now, database is one of the most important component in the IT world, because all your data might resides within the your databases as well. Okay, I assume there are few folks who is listening to this session, probably the non-IT guy, but I assume you also understand at a high level what is database is all about. Okay, so any database is basically nothing but a place where you keep on storing all those information, maybe in terms of a row and column, which is nothing but your table. Okay, so that is your database. Now, when somebody or some organization is moving from their on-prem to the cloud, when I say on-prem, means their on-premises servers, or maybe their physical location, their office. And if they have an office, in the office they have they bought a one server and putting everything on that server, then that means this is nothing but an on premises or on prem servers. Okay, so as we are moving towards the cloud now, when a organization moves to the cloud, it means that they are taking their data, they are taking their application and deploying it over the cloud. Now, when you are doing a movement over the cloud, now, as I said, you might have, let's say, you might have an application. You might have your own Facebook.com, right? I use a lot of time Facebook, but trust me, guys, I haven't opened my Facebook account since couple of years now. Okay, So uh, assume that you have a website kind of facebook.com, and what it does, it basically store your data somewhere in the database. Now when this migration has to happen, I mean migration means now Facebook decided to move this entire deploy this entire application over the cloud. Now what will happen over the cloud, this application need to deploy on the cloud. So maybe for the compute power, what you will take a virtual machine and you will deploy the server here. Now, for the database, similarly, you need a cloud database as well, where they can have their own database deployed. So, for this purposes, I mean, this is just a one very small example I'm talking about. So, you need a cloud database as well. And for this cloud database, there are different database services are given by the cloud. One of them is nothing but your, I'm sorry, somehow it selected green color. So it select Microsoft has given a, oh my god, give me a second guys, let me select the correct thickness is less, I don't know. Okay, so Microsoft has given its own database, which is nothing but a Azure SQL database. So assume that earlier there was a database called as a SQL Server. Okay, so SQL Server is nothing but a database given by the Microsoft Azure, Microsoft product itself. Now, this SQL Server is an on-premises database. Now, similarly, if you want to move all your data from this SQL Server to the cloud, so in the cloud, Microsoft has given an equivalent database service to you, and that is nothing but your Azure SQL DB. That is Azure SQL database. Similarly, Microsoft has given multiple other database as well. You might go back and say that, uh, boss, I'm having a MySQL in my application. I'm using MySQL as a database. Now I want my application to move to the cloud. So I need MySQL database into the cloud. So similarly, you can get the Azure MySQL database as well into the cloud. Azure also has this Azure Postgres SQL database as well into the cloud. And Azure has its one of its own type of a database, which is nothing but your Cosmos DB as well. So Cosmos DB is a very popular now. This is a kind of a NoSQL database. I think we touched upon at a very high level what is NoSQL database. So these are the few common databases which you find into the cloud. There could be many more as well if you just go down, but these are the most popular database service you find into the Azure. Now in this today's session, what we're going to do is we will go into the cloud and we create our own SQL database, and I'll show you how you can operate upon this SQL database. That is nothing but a cloud database. Okay, so let's go down to our portal.azure.com. So I go down here. Okay, I select my account, and this will open up a portal.azure.com for me, hopefully. So great. So once you log into your Azure portal, again, for creating this SQL database, you need to have a one active Azure account. Now, one active Azure account means is like whether you can make a free account, that is your trial version. So where you don't have to pay anything. Otherwise, you have to take some pay as you go model, where you have to uh, pay for that. Okay. So coming back here, I come down here, and if I want to create a database, I just search down here and say SQL database. So now you will see an option called SQL database. Now this is take me to database. Now I have so many database already got created. So don't worry about when you see in your account and you won't find any list. It is you seeing this list because this is all I have created for myself. Okay, earlier. So don't worry about it. For you, when you look at it, it might be completely empty list. Okay. So let's create a one new one. Click on this plus create. Now this will take us to the database creation window. Now here you see that this is nothing but a subscription. So again, as always, whenever you create anything in the database, sorry, in the Microsoft Azure, you always need to have a one active subscription. So just go down and select this Visual Studio subscription. This is my active subscription. You might have a free trial or anything else. Then we talked about the resource group. Resource group is again a logical bundle where you keep it. So for this entire course, we have a one resource group that I have created. That is Azure Fundamental Free Session. So this is my resource group name. You can pick anything. Now the next thing come is this database name. Now, and on the right hand side you can also see the costing which it is showing me. Okay, so I am from India, so that's why it is showing in INR, which is around 16,355, which is somewhere around 200 USD dollars. So if you make this account on a monthly basis, this will going to charge you this much. Okay, don't worry, we can do few configuration and we can reduce down this cost to like a very low cost. Don't worry, I will show you how you can reduce down the cost. That's fine for now. Okay, so now the next thing it will ask us is to give the database name. So let us give a database name saying that okay, az fundamental db. Okay, so that is my database name. Now, one thing you need to do is like for any database creation, you need the database server, right? Database resides within a database server. So you have to create a database server. If you see, this option is asking you to select the server. Now here, I already have a couple of database server. So that's why it is completely fine if I don't do anything here. It all looks, I mean, I can use any one of them and I can proceed. But for you it is not there, so you have to go and create a one server. Okay, so how you can create a one database server? You just click on this create new, and once you click on this create new, you will get here the server name. So give the server name. So now server name is az fundamental server. That's what I have given it. Again, this name has to be unique across the Microsoft Azure. So if I have taken this name and if I don't delete this server, then probably you will not able to create the server with this name. Okay, so you have to just take care of it. Okay, back. Now second thing you select is the location. Location is nothing but it decide where exactly, in which country, in which region your database will get go and reside. So if you create an US East, it means that whenever you store any data into this database, all will get stored somewhere into the US. Okay, so you have to decide whether which country your users are and who are the user for these databases. So accordingly you will select the location. Okay, now for now let's keep default. Okay, next thing come is here. It is asking us this authentication mechanism. For now, let's just select the SQL authentication. SQL authentication means is you have to give the username and you have to give your own password. So give a username, let's say Azure. I just give a username as admin. Okay. Okay. It is not taking. So I'll say I'll give a username of this Azure lab. Then I give another a password Azure lab. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Let me type in. Mhm. Okay, now this is taken up. Okay, now my password is matching and everything is done. Now if I come down here and if I say okay, this will going to create the database server for me. So what we have given into the database server, we have just given the server name, select the location. Under the authentication mechanism, we select this SQL authentication for now, and I give the username, that is server admin name, and the password, and I say okay. Now this all looks okay, but again the problem remains the same. The which what is our problem? The problem is the cost, right? Cost is coming out to be very high. Now what I can do is, you can, once you go down here little bit, you see this option, work environment. So you can directly select the development. Okay, so this will become your development environment, and suddenly you see your price go down like anything. Okay, so now there can be two types of databases. So thing, so here it is by default, the moment you select this development, what it has done is, it has taken up this estimated cost, compute cost per second. So this has become a serverless database. Now there is a one thing, let me explain you this concept. Okay, this concept is common across the cloud. Okay, majority of the time into the cloud, what happens is, you can create you can create any resource, I mean many resource, in two manner. One is a dedicated manner, that is a reserved capacity, and one is a serverless manner. So for example, when I say my database is serverless, now it means that, you know, where you install your database servers, so you need a one machine, right? You need this virtual machine, assume it, this machine some has some RAM, some processor. Okay, and there you install your database. Now when you say I am using a serverless, it means that there will be no machine allocated, there will be no RAM, there will be no processor allocated for this database at all. Okay, what cloud will do is, cloud will just store your data somewhere. Okay, so you have to just pay for the storage cost, and whenever you run query, whenever you try to get the data from this database or store something here, that time itself, at a runtime, cloud will assign some RAM and some processor to do the computation for you at the runtime. So it means that you fire a query which will execute it for 10 seconds, 1 minute. So you have to just pay for that 1 second or a 1 minute. You getting the point? So here you don't have to, you are not reserving the resources. It means you don't have to pay for a specific amount. You have just left it. Now the problem here it could be is like, if you're running so many queries, then you might charge get high. If you are running a very small number of queries over a month, then charges would be very less. Okay, so that's what it is showing up here. Okay, now when it says that, you see, estimated storage cost. So storage, whatever you store, will be costing 344 INR, which is something around $5. And whenever you run a query, so for, if your query run for a 1 second, you charge zero point zero 0.01 something. So if your query run for a 1 minute, you multiply this amount by 60. So it depends upon how many query you execute, and accordingly this charges will come. Okay, and this estimated storage cost is for a 5 GB something around. Okay, so even here it is going to cost you around just a 300 or a $5 per month. Okay, you could even select, go to this configure database option, and you can select something else as well. So even you feel you don't want to go with the serverless, what you can do is, you can fix the price by using this provision one. So select this option, provision one, and now your database costing, you can decide by changing the configuration. So now you select the provision and you decide, you have to decide on your own what type of machine you want to use. You need a high memory machine, see, which has a 240 GB of a hard disk, an 80 processor, or you need a very small machine. So you can select all that accordingly to your choices. Okay, so you can decide here. You reduce down the cost by this, etc., etc. So, and you say provision, and then you can change the configuration and decide it. So anyways, for testing purpose, what you could do is go ahead with the serverless one, try it out, and then once your work is done, go ahead and stop your database or delete your database. Okay, so that's how you can decide upon the pricing. So again, we come back here. Don't forget to use this development, and development under it automatically it will select the serverless, and that will be good enough. So I just repeat what we have done. We have create select the subscription, we have given the resource group, we have given the database name, we have created a server by giving those information. Then for the pricing thing, we select this development and choose the serverless database, and let's move forward. Now you can say who can access it. So by default you say no access, that nobody can access outside. Let's for now select the public endpoint. Now there are a few rules. Who can access: allow Azure service resource to access the server, add current IP address. Let's keep default, and then I'll show you what happened. Okay, now rest all I am not doing anything. Just when you go to the additional setting, there is an option to say, create a database with some sample or some backup. So let's say we select some sample database. So once some sample database will come along with it, so that will be easy to like test it. So I'm just selecting the sample, and then lastly I say review plus create. So now once you go to the review plus create, you can see all the configuration which you have done. Now important point is the costing. Just look at the costing, and then you say create, and this will going to create your first cloud database. So that's how you can create your first Azure SQL database. That is nothing but your database into the cloud. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody has rightly point out that hide current comment. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now this will take a while, maybe a few seconds. It could be 30 seconds or 1 minute or so, and then your database will be ready with one sample database to work along. Again, now the question come in, like, who is going to create the database? In general, if you are working as a cloud developer, maybe you are a Java developer, .NET developer, and you just working as a cloud developer, then probably you are not the one who is going to create this database. Generally, database creation is an important step because here cost is involved. So this generally goes into the responsibility area of Azure administrators. So the Azure administrators are the Azure infra folks. So those are the people who are responsible to do all this. So generally there are very specific number of people, or you can call it a team, to whom these permissions has been given, so that they can go and create it. Because if you give these kind of permission to everyone in the team, so assume it some junior resource, junior person joined the team, and if it does not know about it much, and instead of selecting the 16,000 rupees machine, if we selected the um, 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 5 lakh rupees, a big machine which is not needed at all, then end of the day company has to pay for that. So to avoid all those problems, this has been given to our senior folks and a dedicated team. They know their budget and everything, and accordingly they will go and create the database. So you don't worry about it until unless you are going into the admin side of it. But it is always good to know how things works and how you can create on your own. So once this will get created, you are majorly are the folks who going to use it. Maybe you insert the data, update the data, or retrieve the data. Okay, so your purpose will be basically for using this database. So now our database has been ready. click on go to resource. This will take me to my SQL database. This is nothing but my Azure SQL database. Okay, now click on this overview. You will see that this is your server name, this is your connection string, etc., etc. Okay, now if you want to go and try it out this, so what you can do is, by default on this portal itself, it is given as query editor. So click on this query editor, and what it will do is it will ask you this username and password. So username, it is automatically taking the password which I have given. I have to type that password. I am typing this password and I say okay. So now what it will do is, if my password is right, this will take me there. But again, my password was right, but it is not allowing me to connect. Why? See the message. Cannot open cannot open Azure server because client with IP address is not allowed to access. So by default, when you create the database, a firewall rule has been set. Firewall rule says that only a specific IPs are allowed to connect to it. So I mean, see, database is always a crucial component because it contains the information, maybe about your users, maybe about your finance, maybe about your productions, anything. So database is an important source of information. So by default, it has been protected. So even if somebody knows it, let's say for example, you come and try to connect to, you get my username, you get my password, you get my server address, and you tried for to connect uh, from your machine or your laptop to my database, then this firewall feature will, even in case you know everything, will not allow. So even you can see, I am the person, I know the username, I know the password, everything, and still I am not allowed. Why? Because the firewall rule has been set. And what firewall rule says that this IP address is not allowed, because in the firewall you can set only the selected IP addresses. So let's say if I take you here, go down here onto the overview, let's say unsaved, and you see set server firewall. So by default, in this firewall, you can see we have selected a specific IP. Now here you are getting an option, add your client IP. So this has taken up my uh, the current IP address from which I am logging. So you can see that there is no one has been allowed. Okay, now what we'll do is we come back here and let me try to log in again. Okay, I've not done any changes yet. Still it will not allow me to connect, but now this time I will do something else. Now automatically, you see in the bottom there is one thing, allow this IP address on this server. So I just click on it. Okay, as this is my account only. So what it will do is it will automatically, you see, I'm getting a message that this IP address has now been added into the firewall. Now if I go down here, and if you see the firewall rule now, you will see that this IP address, is my IP address, has been just added into the firewall rule. So now this database will be connected by only a specific IP address. This is that IP address from which it is allowed to connect. Okay. So now if I go down here, go to the query editor again give my password, I should be able to log in and start querying my database. Okay, so now you can see that I am able to log in now. Okay, now I got some tables. And why we getting all this table? Because this is what we have selected a sample database at the time of database creation, so that's why some sample tables are coming in. So if I go down here, right click, select top 100 rows, and I say run my query, automatically this will going to get added up here, and you can see it, all the data which is coming along here. So that's how you can go ahead and start using your database over the cloud. So now you can, even if you want to create some table, you can type in create table command, and then it will start creating the tables for you. Even If you are from a little bit of database background and you know about this software, which is we called as nothing but your SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. So you can connect any database editor with this database, and you can run your database through this editors or IDE as well. So that all is possible. So that's how you can go ahead and you can create your own cloud database into the Azure. Okay. Now, only the thing which you need to aware of is the pricing cost. So if all goes well and you're done with your practice, the good thing should be is go down and delete your database plus server both. Okay. So go down to the server, because this is my database server which we have created, and what we're going to do is we want to delete this. So let me just see option here, delete. And see, database resides within the server, so the moment you delete a server, database also will go. So you can see that affected item is giving this name as well. So I just copy this name, and for this verification purpose it asks us to type in, because somebody might have accidentally click on the delete. So that's why it asks us to type the server name and say delete. Now this will going to delete the server automatically, and the database also go and get deleted. So that's how you can save the you can practice and you can save the cost as well. So now database will get deleted and all it's fine. Similarly, the way we have created a SQL database, similarly if you search for a MySQL, now you can see a Azure database for MySQL server. So if your application was in MySQL, you can come down to Azure database for MySQL server. You go to the plus create, and then you can define all those information whatever way you wanted. Single server, create, and then you can give all those information and create your MySQL database as well. Similarly, you can go and search for your Postgres. So if you want to install a Postgres server, you can select that and you can install the Postgres server as well. So up to you what kind of server you want to install. And another server which I just talked about was the Cosmos DB. So if you want to go and install a Cosmos DB, you can just select Cosmos DB, go ahead and create like that. So all this will be very easy to go ahead and create all these different types of a database. Now there is a one more aspect here. Now sometimes database creation is fine. Now database got created, but what I need to do is I need to migrate as well. So migrating means this is my a normal database, which is nothing but my on-prem or on-premises database, and this is a database which we just created into the cloud, which is nothing but our Azure SQL database. Now as it is, I want to copy the data from here to here. So this copying can be done through a one service which is called as data migration service, DMS service. So there data migration service, there is a DMS tool is out there. You can, that's a free tool by Microsoft. You can download that tool. That tool will connect your on-prem, read entire data, and it will help you to migrate directly to the database, to the cloud database. So if you have to, that is called as lift and shift. So as it is, you have to lift and you have to shift it to the cloud. Probably that migration can be done through this DMS tool. Okay. Again, you don't have to know all this in quite detail. Azure fundamental certification just need a high level overview. I just shown you because AZ 900 exam is all about theory. I repeat, AZ 900 is all about theory only. There is nothing as such a practical knowledge needed to clear this AZ 900 exam. But to make all these sessions interesting and all this knowledge helpful for your real world use cases, I have added all those practical part here. Okay, otherwise you just need to know theoretically just to clear the certification. My always intention is that not to prepare you to for just clearing the certification. The intent is to make you a job ready. Okay, to make you a practically a ready. Okay, so that is the intention there. Okay, so that's why just keep in mind that if your certification is only your goal, then you don't need to know all this practically, at least for AC 900. Okay, now we just talked about only the DB thing so far. Okay, we talked about the DB service. Similarly, we have another kind of a service which we called as an analytical service or analytics service, which is nothing which is helpful for your big data engineering or other things. So there are few of the analytical services which use for big data, for your machine learning and all. So there are different services given for those kind of areas as well. For example, the one of the good service or one of the another popular service for your analytics is your HD Insight. So what HD Insight do is, I'll tell you. Give me a second. Okay. Now, in this HD Insight, so let's say, for example, if you wanted to use Hadoop, or you wanted to use Spark, or you wanted to use Hive, or maybe some other tool like Pig, etc. So all these things, if you wanted to use, you can make a cluster, a cluster on the cloud using this HD Insight. Again, you don't need to know all this. These are basically all part of a normal data engineering stuff. But you need to aware of it that there is a service called as HD Insight, through which you can create the big data analytics workspace, Hadoop clusters, Spark cluster, or Hive cluster. So that is service is called as HD Insight. You come down here, you search for HD Insight, and then you see this HD Insight cluster. So you need a one machine cluster, 10 machine, or a 100 machine cluster. You can always go ahead and create it. Similarly, there is a one. You also have another analytics. You may only worried about running Databricks, so you have a Databricks as well. So you have an Azure Databricks also there. So Azure Databricks is another analytical service which is used for big data analytics. Okay, so these are all you need to know at a very high level. So these variety of services has been given into the Azure. See, what is Azure? Azure in itself is a solution provider, right? So Azure thinks from not just from your perspective, Azure thinks from the entire perspective, right? There are Java developers, there are mobile application developers, there are AI, artificial intelligence developer, there are the video, audio video related some of the applications they probably people wanted to run. Then there are networking people, there are administrator people, there are testing folks, there are management folks. So there are so many different folks or streams out there. So what Azure has done is Azure has to earn, right? Azure has to generate the revenue. So what Azure trying to do is Azure trying to cater to all those different folks. So when somebody says that you need to know Microsoft Cloud, it means that you need to know only very basic services. There are almost 100 or 150 services out there into Microsoft Azure. You don't need to master each and every one of them. You need only services which is relevant to you. Okay. You don't need to go and let's say, for example, if I show you create resource, now you see these many different services you will see. You go to the AI analytics. So in the AI, these are the different services you will get. Okay. For analytics, you see different types of services, machine learning, database, events, so many other services you will see. You select the, let's say, DevOps. For DevOps, these many different services out there. You select the media. So this media related services for migration, mixed reality, IoT. So you see variety of services for every different stream. So you don't need to master each and every one of them. You need to know very basic few services, common services, and a few specific services which is relevant to your profile. So if you are a DevOps guy, you might need to know a few specific service related to DevOps. If you are a data engineer, you need to know a specific service about the data engineering. So like that. So don't worry about uh, by hearing the name that you don't know this and how would I learn all that. You don't need to learn each and every one of things. Okay, you only need to learn which is relevant to your profile. So if your profile is relevant to only these services, then only you should go and learn it. Otherwise you can easily skip it. Nobody will ask you, nobody will point fingers on you by saying that you don't know this. Okay, so important is just to learn what is needed for yourself. Okay, great. So by this I have reached to the towards the end of this session. If you have any doubts, any question, anything which you wanted to ask, please come forward and ask. I'll try to answer all your questions. And one announcement, I am starting a new batch for Azure Data Engineer. This will be starting from November 5. So if you are interested to join this course, you can start from November 5. This is the URL. You can go down to the URL and you can enroll yourself. Again, this course is make you a job ready. This is a data engineering course. Will teach each and everything. This majorly include all these concepts: data factory, Spark, PySpark, Synapse, Keyword, and all this. So all of these things has been included into the course along with two projects. So you get the project hands-on as well, plus certification, the course completion certificate. You get recording, lifetime access. You also get resume preparation help. So resume preparation help is also there, and job assistance also there. Job placement assistance is also there. Okay, so that's all you get it if you enroll for this course. So almost I'm about to filling completing the number of seats. Hardly very few seats left. So if you are looking to join, please join it, because there is only one batch which runs, and the next batch will run after 3 months. So if you are looking to enroll for it, there is an early bird offer also going on. Go ahead and get yourself enrolled. Now back to you guys. Any questions? So I think a lot of people was talking about earlier. So anyone has any questions, please come forward. And all these links is available under the description box as well. So you can go down to the description box and check that out. So Nitin is asking, is this Azure DE course start from scratch? Yes, this is from the scratch. You don't need it. Only prerequisite for this course is you know basic of SQL. Okay. So I say the prerequisite is you know SQL basics. Okay. So if you know basics of SQL, then you are good to start. Okay. Anyone has any other question? Okay. DHFD is asking which one is the in need from like these DP203, DP201, AZ900. Again, all depends what you want to become. If you want to become a data engineer, then I guess DP203 is the certification which you should target. Okay. AZ900 good to do. If you do it, it's fine. For DP203, you can directly jump to the DP203 as well. That's fine. Uh, okay, that I already answered, Nitin. Then Rohit, is your DE course these practical concepts also covered in be like DB server VM storage account? You go down to this link and there you will see the entire curriculum as well. So Rohit, I must say that go down and go to the uh, portal, and there you'll see the entire full curriculum and all this question will answer. See, when I start a data engineering course, the focus will be the data engineering part. We don't touch upon any other things which is outside the data engineers a responsibility area. So we'll cover only the topics which is relevant to the data engineer, and we will focus on that. That will be a laser focus. Abhishek is asking fees. I would recommend go out, and there is a one surprise offer going on. So I don't want to say this here. Go down and check that surprise offer onto the portal. Shriji, where to check the Even logs, I assume you talking about the event logs. So we'll talk about it in the tomorrow session, don't worry. um any other questions, anyone? Nikhila is asking, still we can use the coupon code for data engineering course. Yes, coupon code is valid, you can go ahead and use that. But again, announcement, I'm telling you, this is filling very fast, so very few seats left, guys. Please don't come back to me after 10 days and saying that we want to join and then please take us. So probably that will not be possible because we have some limited bandwidth. So guys, please, if you were interested, go down and get enrolled. New batch. Okay, and one more thing, this entire batch will drive on the weekends. So here we work only on the weekends. The class will be on Saturday and Sunday, and timing would be the same, that is 8 a.m. IST. Okay, so 2 hours class, 8 to 10, and that will be on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Yes, Salil, you can show that number of years of experience. Roshan is asking, will it be in Hindi? No, it will be in the English only. Asif Ali Khan, when will ready for the AZ900 certifications? AZ900 certification exam is the most easiest exam in the Azure. Okay, so you don't need to put so much concern around it. Okay, and if something is easy, something is like not, I should not say this, but don't think like that easy 900 will transform your career like anything. Okay, it's a good starting process, so if you do it, it's good. If you even know about the AZ 900 syllabus, even you don't do it, it's fine. You can pick a second level of certification in the certification journey. That is also fine. Okay. Any more questions, anyone? Still, I can see 65 people are online. Guys, please speak up if you have any question related to this, related to course, whatever, anything related to your career, anything. I'm here for next 15 minutes so I can answer all your question. If you think that you don't have any question, any career suggestion or anything, then we can move forward. And one more thing, guys, I don't know how many of you are subscribed to this channel or not. So please do subscribe to this channel. And if you're not following me on the LinkedIn, trust me, guys, you are missing lot of good content on the Azure side. So do follow me on the LinkedIn. You will get to learn a lot of new announcement as well, because soon I am starting a new something new sessions for the snowflake. So something around the snowflake. I don't know how many of you heard about it, snowflake. So snowflake is a one now cloud data warehouse that is getting very popular. So I am going to take a workshop on this snowflake. So again, you get all those announcement onto the LinkedIn itself, because I cannot come to the YouTube and do all that. So I write a lot of content, a lot of post about the cloud data engineering and all this. So do follow me on the LinkedIn to get all these notifications. uh, DHFD is what's the class timing in weekdays, Monday to Friday? No, there is one. I mean, if you talk about the data engineering batch would be on that Saturday, Sunday only. And for the Azure fundamental, which we are doing, will be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So hopefully, in this week, we're going to finish this our entire series, what we are doing. Okay. Any more questions? Anyone quickly, guys? Uh, if you have any doubt related to your career progression, how you can improve or move forward in your career, anything, how to grow online as well, if you want to know all those things, ask me anything. I am open for all the questions. Mallikarjun Meti is asking, should I take your DE course? I don't know, to be honest. What is your current profile? So you have to first tell me what is your current profile, then I can suggest you. If you are a completely from a non-IT, I would don't recommend to start with this Data engineering, if you're completely a non-IT guy, start with the software testing. That would be the easiest thing to do. Don't start from the cloud. If you are completely non-IT guy, I repeat, if you are completely non-IT guy and you are getting into the IT first time ever, I think cloud should not be the right place to start with. Start with software testing, easy thing to start and get the job. Nitin Malik, Snowflake is not covered into the data engineering course because Snowflake is a different thing. Snowflake overall concept is clear covered. There is one session is there into the data engineering course, but Snowflake need in itself 5-10 sessions. So that is not a part of the data engineering. See, in this today's world, there are so many tools are coming. So we focus on Azure data engineer, not on the Snowflake data engineer. Duration of the course is 3 months. So if you are planning to join data engineering course, the duration is 3 months. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? 3 months. This is the course duration. Okay. I think no questions left as such. So let's call it a day little early today. And so anyone, last call, any questions which you want me to answer? Srijit, to go with the data engineering course for number 5 is Azure tutorials for the beginners mandatory to attend? No, nothing. Whatever is needed there, I will teach. Don't worry. Okay. So you don't need to attend. I mean, mandatorily attended, but if you attended, it always good. It will always help you. Ganesh is asking how much SQL is needed. Basic knowledge of SQL is needed. So if you know how to do select star, group by, order, joins, uh, basic. If you know all these things, you can make few queries. Then you are good to do. Again, all the SQL knowledge is not needed on day one. You can master it or sharpen it side by side as well. That is fine. But end of the day, for becoming a data engineer, you need to know the SQL. Shubham is asking ADX. I'm not sure what do you mean by ADX. Can you please elaborate? Or you're talking about ADF? So if you're talking about ADF is a part of it, this course. Any more questions? Anyone, guys? Please, quick. Okay. I think all question has been answered. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining in. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you tomorrow on the same time. Thank you. Keep running. Goodbye.